Yeah. You want to test it out?
Yeah,
Check it out, yeah. The best part is the big Cuban, you can put it right here. You see it?
A well-known member of the Chicago rap industry, Lil Durk, is going through one of the most trying times of his life. Fans in the music industry are very concerned about the rapper, whose real name is Durk Derek Banks, and his recent legal troubles. Durk is now being imprisoned at Florida's Broward County Jail, and his situation has highlighted both the seriousness of the allegations against him and the contentious conditions of the jail. The Broward County Jail has a well-known reputation for treating inmates cruelly and in appalling circumstances. According to reports, prisoners inexplicably pass away, and the circumstances are seldom or never made public. Even worse, despite the existence of CCTV cameras, deputies are allegedly physically beating prisoners. Despite these cameras, there are still restrictions on accessing the film, which feeds into allegations of wrongdoing and corruption inside the organization. Supporters are worried about Lil Durk's safety because of his expertise in this setting. A Miami federal magistrate court has ordered the rapper to be held without bail. It is anticipated that he would be in detention until his arraignment in Los Angeles. An already difficult position is made much more challenging by this sobering fact. A startling Miami arrest marked the beginning of Lil Durk's current legal troubles. Authorities took the rapper into custody shortly after they arrested 5 others allegedly belonging to his group, Only the Family OTF. It is thought that the 5 were part of a scheme to attack Quando Rondo, another rapper. The sad murder of Rondo's cousin Lulab as a consequence of this purported conspiracy made matters more serious. Durk is now facing serious allegations such as conspiracy to commit murder for pay, which, if proven true, might have a profound impact on his life, as the case continues to get a lot of public and media attention. The accusations not only jeopardize his freedom but also his job and personal life. Lil Durk has decided to face the allegations head-on, despite the seriousness of the charges against him. According to reports, the rapper plans to enter a not guilty plea, demonstrating his will to get his reputation cleared. Despite the very high stakes, his choice to stand on business shows that he believes he is innocent and is prepared to battle the accusations. Durk can be sentenced to life in prison or perhaps the death penalty if found guilty. However, his position indicates that he is ready to face the fierce legal struggle that lies ahead, which highlights his fortitude and faith in justice. The path ahead is still unclear and perhaps dangerous, but his legal team is probably putting up a strong defense to refute the prosecution's allegations. The case also brings up more general issues about the structural obstacles that Black artists encounter in the criminal justice system. Some admirers believe that Durk's predicament emphasizes how race, celebrity, and judicial scrutiny are intertwined, especially for artists from underrepresented backgrounds. The circumstances inside the Broward County Jail have made Lil Durk's situation even more concerning. Inhumane circumstances at the institution, including poor medical care, overcrowding, and claims of the music industry has been rocked by Durk's arrest and the allegations against him. The rapper, who has a devoted following and is regarded as a voice of the streets, is well known for his honest songs and gripping tales. Fans and peers are in shock at his involvement in such a severe issue, and many have shown their support for him during this turbulent period. Guard abuse have been reported in several reports over the years. The dangers may be considerably higher for a well-known prisoner like Durk, whose notoriety might make him a target for abuse or violence. Fears of foul play are made worse by the public's inability to see CCTV video. Although activists and advocacy organizations have long demanded more openness and control over correctional institutions such as Broward County Jail, significant changes have yet to materialize. Navigating these circumstances while getting ready for his court case is a difficult task for Lil Durk's future is in jeopardy as he awaits his transport to Los Angeles for arraignment. There are other people involved, claimed conspiracies, and crucial legal points in the complicated case against him. Even if his choice to enter a not guilty plea shows his determination, the trial's verdict is still up in the air. The rapper's predicament is a sobering reminder of the difficulties encountered by those who overcome adversity to become well-known and successful. It also emphasizes how urgently correctional facilities need to be reformed and the larger problems with the criminal justice system. Regardless of the result, Lil Durk's admirers and supporters can only hope that justice is done for the time being. The music industry is keeping a close eye on one of its biggest performers as he navigates one of the most difficult times in his life. Guilty of the accusations according to insider accounts, he is also in a good mood, and oddly, his sole grievance is with the food served in prison. The source said that he gets along well with the personnel of FDDC Miami and his other prisoners, with those inside calling him very charming and agreeable. However, Durk is still housed in one of Miami's worst prisons. The jail system in Broward County, which has been the subject of increasing criticism, accommodates a wide range of prisoners, many of whom have specific requirements, are physically fragile, or are mentally sick. Public Defender Gordon Weeks, a fervent supporter of inmate rights, called for a thorough and open investigation into the alleged brutalization of inmates by Broward detention deputies. Weeks has been outspoken in his criticism of the Broward Sheriff's Office, led by Sheriff Gregory Toney, for its refusal to release inmates from this facility, which has come under intense scrutiny due to allegations of abuse and misconduct by the deputies. Footage captured by the jail's sophisticated surveillance system, he contends that this video is essential to comprehending the actual circumstances of the occurrence and guaranteeing that those responsible for any wrongdoing are held accountable. The Chicago rapper's prospects are not bright since anything may happen to him while he is incarcerated, and the CCTV video wouldn't assist in stopping the deputy. Notes that in order to fulfill their official responsibilities, the act also permits the distribution of such film to other local, state, or federal entities. According to reports, some prisoners are beaten up in front of the cameras and denied food for days. This legal loophole implies that Sheriff Toney could have provided the videos to the public defender's office, raising questions about the reasons behind his unwavering refusal to let us in. Freddie Lee Jones is 38 years old. Deputies are accused of beating a black detainee in solitary confinement. According to eyewitness accounts, Jones, who was arrested on a misdemeanor count of criminal mischief, went without food for 2 days prior to the incident. On that day, Jones reportedly splashed water outside his cell, which prompted a violent response from about 9 deputies. These deputies then stormed into Jones' cell and started a vicious assault, punching, kicking, and beating him as he lay helpless on the floor. The aftermath was a scene of horror. The witness, who had never met Jones before, was so horrified by the cruelty that he reported it right away. The following day, Jones's attorney discovered him in a wheelchair, unable to sit up because of the pain from his wounds. His face bore scars from the violence he had experienced, including 2 black eyes, cuts, a chipped tooth, and a swollen foot. His sister and caretaker, Nikki Jones, voiced her indignation at the Broward Sheriff's Office's lack of communication and openness. Showed that the beating took place in front of the jail's cameras, but the video has not been made public, hiding the facts. Despite this extensive surveillance, the footage is not publicly available to the public or those seeking justice for the victims of alleged abuse. The Broward County jail system, which has 682 cameras, is intended to monitor and ensure the safety of inmates. The cameras provide comprehensive coverage, capturing multiple angles of housing units and individual cells. Because public defender Lil Durk should be concerned that Freddie Lee Jones's case is not a unique incident. A number of concerning examples that show a pattern of misbehavior and negligence in the prison system have been brought to light by Gordon Weeks. One such case is the death of Kevin Desire, a black man with a history of mental health problems, after a violent altercation with 6 detention officials. Despite the existence of video proof, Desire, who was going through a manic episode, abruptly passed out during the confrontation. Has been refused access, leaving many questions unanswered. The Broward medical examiner was unable to identify the cause of Desire's death, and no charges were brought against the deputies involved. This lack of accountability has stoked even more outrage as weeks go by, demanding that the video footage be made public in order to ensure justice and transparency. Another story illustrating the horrors of the imprisonment is that of Herbie Crussell, a white prisoner who is accused of killing himself while being watched over by a staff member who is notorious for being an institution designed to help inmates with mental health concerns housed an addict and beggar. The mystery surrounding his death raises serious questions regarding the quality of care given to vulnerable prisoners. Joseph Williams, a 26-year-old prisoner with a lengthy history of mental illness, was imprisoned for an attempted murder and died in detention under strange circumstances. Pursuant to Williams's passing, very soon after, his mother's persistent petitions to the prison personnel about his mental health were ignored. Lots of "yes, I want to be a better man, a better father, and a better leader, but it seems like all of his hard work may be undone." She started pushing for his treatment, but Durkio shouldn't be concerned only about violent deputies and mysterious murders, since narcotics often enter the facility. As it turns out, OTF Chief Huncho has been battling drug addiction. Earlier this year, the rapper disclosed that he had checked himself into a treatment facility. He said, "Hey, we heard you were in rehab." Yes, exactly. I mean, is it possible for us to discuss it briefly? We're doing well, and I want to embrace it since it really helped me. Now that an inmate died from an F overdose in July of this year. I won't even say that it was difficult at first because I really knew what I wanted. I'm saying that I knew what was holding me back. Jerky even disclosed that he wanted to deal with his addiction to Xanax and movies in order to become a better leader and father. Drugs being brought into the jail could cause Durkio to revert to his old destructive ways, but how did he end up in this predicament? It turns out that his plan to kill one of his operations was his downfall, but worse, he was sold out by someone who played a crucial role in the preparation and execution of the murders of his cousin Lou P and Quando Rondo. This person was none other than Durk's friend Brick Baby Lil Durk, who traveled to Broward County Jail when word spread that when the Chicago rapper was jailed, there was a report that he had attempted to leave the country. It turned out the blogs were not exaggerating the situation as everyone thought. The fact that Mr. Banks was apprehended when he tried to flee the country is more evidence that the FBI and our exceptional partners at the Los Angeles Police Department have, according to Long Reach. The FBI Los Angeles Field Office's assistant director revealed that the federal government had been monitoring him. According to the indictment, the FBI had long been infiltrating his gang and was aware of his every move. It was during this time of increased surveillance that the FBI discovered Lil Durk's attempts to flee the country. On October 24th, U.S. Customs and Border Protection notified the FBI when Durk booked 2 one-way flights to Dubai and Switzerland. These reservations raised immediate concerns because they implied an attempt to avoid the legal ramifications of the developing indictment. Even though Lil Durk did not board the flights to Dubai, or the situation in Switzerland took a drastic turn when the FBI learned that he had also arranged for a private plane to leave Miami and land in Italy. This revelation increased the urgency of the investigation and prompted law enforcement to take immediate action. On Thursday, October 24th, at around 8 p.m., FBI agents arrived at the Miami area airport to arrest Lil Durk. Lil Durk was taken to Broward County Jail just an hour before his planned departure to Italy. A federal magistrate judge in Miami ordered him to be held without bond until he was transferred to Los Angeles for arraignment. Law enforcement's prompt action ensured that he would not elude justice. 5 people connected to OTF, Cav, London, Grant, Dondre Bunsen, Keith Jones are included in the federal indictment. In Los Angeles, Asa Houston and David Brian Lindsay were also accused of planning to murder rapper Quando Rondo. As law officials stepped up their investigation into OTF's operations, they discovered a network of links and communications that showed a concerted attempt to target the incident, and they now face serious accusations such as murder. On August 18, 2022, a well-planned plot was initiated to ambush and kill Quando Rondo in the heart of Los Angeles in the For Hire case, which involved a violent crime involving the use of a machine gun and a death. The details of this plot, as disclosed by federal court records, paint a terrifying picture of the lengths people were willing to go to in order to exact revenge. The day started with Lil Durk's associates DeAndre Wilson, which was thought to be a retaliatory act connected to King Von's murder. The indictment describes how these people allegedly planned to commit the murder as part of a larger scheme, which finally resulted in their apprehension. According to court filings, the 5 men booked flights and rental vehicles to the location of the crime using OTF-affiliated credit cards. Keith Jones, Asa, and David Lindsay Theo Group were determined to carry out their mission with precision and stealth, avoiding any direct links to Durk by following his alleged instructions to avoid booking flights under names associated with him. The feds revealed that they obtained information from Durk's iCloud, where he warned them not to book anything in his name. Houston arrived in Los Angeles after traveling from Chicago to San Diego and then being driven there, allegedly using funds provided by Durk himself. They booked the flights using a credit card connected to Durk and OTF in spite of the warning. When they arrived, OTF members met with Con Grant, a senior associate who had taken a private jet to Los Angeles. This is where things get interesting because the updated indictment contains a new, terrifying detail. Con Grant didn't fly alone, Durk was with him. Grant was instrumental in the operation by procuring hotel rooms, buying ski masks for the party, and getting 2 luxury automobiles for their usage. According to court documents, Grant also reportedly gave guns to Jones Lindsay and an unnamed third guy during the ambush. The gang then started following Quando Rondo as he drove around Los Angeles in a Cadillac Escalade. The fact that Quando Rondo's vehicle stopped at a gas station would prove to be a serious error in this case. When Jones Lindsay and the unnamed third arrived at the gas station, Rondo and Robinson halted, and Houston reportedly placed his vehicle strategically behind the station, preparing the ground for the surprise attack. After the attempted ambush, the suspects regrouped at an In-N-Out hamburger stand where they allegedly discussed payment with Con Grant. The group then flew back to Chicago from San Diego after the man reportedly exited their vehicle armed and ready to execute and take out their target. They opened fire, unleashing a hail of bullets in an attempt to kill Rondo. Tragically, Rondo's cousin Lil Pio, who was standing outside the Escalade, was struck and killed in the gunfire, while Rondo miraculously escaped unharmed. Following the indictment, authorities started to piece together the details of the brazen attack. Public fans noticed something strange. Several people were assisting the authorities. The hip-hop commentator shared his findings on social media, stating that he had carefully reviewed Lil Durk's documents and that there were 3 co-conspirators whose names were withheld. One of them was one of the 3 shooters, another booked flights for the shooters, and a third told OTF about Q's location in Louisiana. According to the indictment, co-conspirators are likely working with the federal government against Durk and the other defendants. According to a tweet from DJ Vlad, one or more co-conspirators, including co-conspirator 4, discovered that Quando Rondo was traveling to California and staying at a hotel in Los Angeles. It appears that co-conspirator 4 was responsible for providing the locations of cues, and what's even more bizarre is that a recent interview with Whack 100 may have revealed who co-conspirator 4 is. It's none other than Brick Baby if you go in there and... According to Whack, the world believed that the shooting in Atlanta that nearly killed Quando Rondo and claimed the life of the rapper's cousin was a bad drug deal involving marijuana. For example, everyone believed that the shooting was a bad drug deal involving marijuana between some Armenians or Persians. However, in February 2023, Brick Baby posted on social media and stated that no one could claim that OTF didn't slide for Vaughn. It wasn't until February 2023 that Brick Baby and Flo went online and said, "Suddenly, the world is unaware of this, so I guess they can't say OTF didn't slide for King Vine anymore." In the aforementioned video, Brick Baby disclosed that OTF had slid for Vaughn because they had removed Quando Rondo's cousin. They said, "You can't say that no more." Why? Oh yeah, because of no, like who died? So you can't say that no more. OH died because of FG Money or because of Lil P. However, Brick isn't the only time. This is where things get interesting, because when the feds heard Brick Baby said that they were going after him, they went after him. Baby told the world about their hit because he hopped on a track and spilled the beans there. Not enough, he was dirking, trying to hit. Now he's in a blunt and we dropped the 100 shots. Go dig your partner up in another part. He raps the last one and we got 1 million plus. The feds get on Brick in March, but we don't. The feds told Quando Rondo that the gang he was representing, the Rolling 60s Crips, had set him up. What do you think the police told him? It turns out that Brick Baby and Quando Rondo were the ones who set him up. When Brick was picked up by the feds, everyone assumed he had been charged with a gun, but it was quickly discovered that they wanted his cell phone. Although we thought it was an Alaska 47 case, they came for his phone. When Quando arrived in Atlanta, he checked in with his gang for protection. What was he saying? Roll 60 script, where Brick Baby from Roll 60 script. Who you think he checked in with? Rolling 60s with who? Well, I see where you're going with this. It's kind of clear that Brick Baby might have dropped Key's location to his ops, because after the shooting, the Savannah rapper took to social media to denounce his gang, claiming that they didn't have his back. It turns out that Brick Baby isn't the only person who went online to discuss the crime, because the indictment disclosed that Durk actually covered it in his songs. What's even more bizarre is that the indictment specifically mentions the song, which implies that Duro's lyrics will be used against him in court. The song in question is Wonderful Wayne and Jackie Boy. Durk Raps informed me that they have. There's a location, an Addy, and a green light. Go watch the television and see your kid yelling no, no, and everyone is hovering around him. You are aware that Durk was discussing Quando Rondo, who was seen on television yelling after Duro's OTF shooters shot and murdered his cousin LPO. Durk's court case is going to be crazy because his friends are spying on him and his violent lyrics are being used in court. The rapper is going to face a case unlike any he has ever faced, including gun charges and attempted murder charges. The Chicago rapper has a wild criminal history, and the OTF head honcho was before becoming a well-known rapper. Lil Durk spent a lot of time behind bars. His first arrest occurred in 2011 on a weapons charge, and he was given a sentence of 3 months in prison. However, this did not help him leave the streets, as 2 years later he was arrested again and charged with unlawful use of a weapon by a felon. This time, he was given 18 months of probation after entering a guilty plea, but during this probation, Durk was allegedly caught by police in possession of 2 guns, which led to another weapons-related incident. After a court decided that the rapper did not break his probation since he did not hold and control the firearms, the charge was subsequently withdrawn. In 2019, Durk was involved in an attempted murder case and was arrested. He said that he had nothing to conceal or flee from that day. You're going to give up right now, so why? I have nothing to contribute, just as I have nothing to flee. The rapper then went on to turn himself in to authorities at the Fulton County Jail on the same day. Years later, the case would take a different turn. Lil Durk also insisted on his innocence and denied committing any of the 5 charges made against him. Did you do it? Did you shoot this man? Did you commit the other crimes of which you're accused? One of the most dramatic arrests ever. On May 29, 2019, the Atlanta police issued an arrest warrant for Durk, a Chicago rapper who was charged with 5 felonies, including illegal membership with a criminal street gang to conduct or commit murder, aggravated assault, and criminal attempt to commit murder. Engage in criminal activity, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Durk canceled everything and headed straight to Atlanta when the warrant was issued. He dropped the song Turn Me in the following day. The rapper didn't waste any time in advancing any narrative by giving WSB-TV an interview at his lawyer's office, during which he disclosed that he was going to turn himself in to the police. Dario attempted to modify his image, but now he is behind bars, and his life is quite different from what he is accustomed to. For the surprise attack, After the attempted ambush, the suspects regrouped at an In-N-Out hamburger stand where they allegedly discussed payment with Kyon Grant. The group then flew back to Chicago from San Diego after the man reportedly exited their vehicle armed and ready to execute and take out their target. They opened fire, unleashing a hail of bullets in an attempt to kill Rondo. Tragically, Rondo's cousin Lil Pio, who was standing outside the Escalade, was struck and killed in the gunfire, while Rondo miraculously escaped unharmed. Following the indictment, authorities started to piece together the details of the brazen attack. Public fans noticed something strange. Several people were assisting the authorities. The hip-hop commentator shared his findings on social media, stating that he had carefully reviewed Lil Durk's documents and that there were 3 co-conspirators whose names were withheld. One of them was one of the 3 shooters, another booked flights for the shooters, and a third told OTF about Q's location in Louisiana. According to the indictment, co-conspirators are likely working with the federal government against Durk and the other marijuana between some Armenians or Persians. However, in February 2023, Brick Baby posted on social media and stated that no one could claim that OTF didn't slide for Von. It wasn't until February 2023 that Brick Baby and Flo went online and said, "Suddenly the world is unaware of this, so I guess they can't say OTF didn't slide for King Vine anymore." In the aforementioned video, Brick Baby disclosed that OTF had slid for Von because they had removed Quando Rondo's cousin. They said, "You can't say that no more." Why? Oh yeah, because of, wait, no, like who died? Say you can't say that no more because of FG Money or because of Little P, but this isn't the only instance of Brick. This is where things get interesting, because when the feds heard Brick Baby said that they were going after him, they went after him. Baby told the world about their hit because he hopped on a track and spilled the beans there. Not enough he was dirking trying to hit. Now, he's in a blunt and we dropped the 100 shots. Go dig your partner up in another part. He raps the last one. And we got 1 million plus.